Hey folks, my name is Gary Schwantz, and I've got the pleasure of getting to work with A&A in October. I've known Robert for more than 10 years. I've worked in the HME industry for more than 15, but it had been a while since he and I had visited. And so I was so pleased this summer when I got a call from Robert, and we had a conversation. The conversation was this, the gist of it was this. Robert told me that your company is as strong as it's ever been. I will tell you, in our industry, that's unique. Sales are great, excellent processes in place, and he said it's the best staff he's ever had, just branch by branch throughout the company. He's never been more pleased with that. So what he wants is a next step, a way to make A&A the best possible place to work, and a place where his faith could be applied, where it could shape that next step, and that's where I get to come in. In October, representatives from all the branches will be part of a Grace in the Workplace workshop. The focus is simply on creating and sustaining a graceful place where people enjoy working with one another and they enjoy serving their customers. The concept is easy. Let's be a place where we treat one another and customers with grace. But as you might guess, it's the application that's hard. I think we all want to be treated with grace. One definition of grace is being treated better than we deserve. And in our hearts, I think we want to treat others with grace. It's just that life and work tends to work against that desire. We work in close quarters, we live in close quarters, and with those we care about the most, we sometimes let down our guard and choose something other than grace. So as a group, we will discuss and work on this idea of grace. And it sounds more touchy-feely than it is. Here's the practical element of it. The key is to set the expectation that treating one another well, that treating your customers well, is a key part of your organization and one of the standards against which performance is measured. And here's an approach from Quint Studer's book, Hardwiring Excellence, which he wrote for hospitals who wanted to change their culture. He discussed the importance of creating several teams, and he said the most important team to get rolling was the standards team. And here's the task for that standards team in hospital language. When developing behavioral standards, a good question to ask is, in order for us to demonstrate standards of behavior to our coworkers, our patients, and our physicians, what does that behavior need to look like? And then he says to answer that question, be as specific as possible. For example, one standard may be to always introduce yourself to your patient when you meet them. To use key words when closing a curtain, like I'm closing this curtain to ensure your privacy and confidentiality. We're going to modify a bit, but use Studer's approach for you to decide what the focus is going to be for A&A this year. Here's what I'm asking you to do at your branches. Someone from your branch will be a facilitator, and he or she will collect this information for me. That information then will be used part of a company-wide meeting where every branch will be represented. Here's what I need you to be kind enough to answer for me. First, what are those words that describe grace for you? Examples may be mercy and compassion. I want you, as a team, I want you to come up with as many as you can, write those down, and then share them with me. But come up with at least 10. The next question, what does grace look like in the workplace? In other words, what are the specific actions? What are the daily actions of grace? Examples may be to smile or make good eye contact. Again, come up with as many as you can, but at least 10 for me. The next question, what are the situations with teammates and customers in which you find it most difficult to offer grace? In other words, the situation where it's most challenging. We'll collect these, and long term, what I want to do for some of them is come up with some specific actions, specific ways to deal with conflict, for example, or difficult customers. That'll be long term. Finally, the key is the last element. Your handout includes a list that comes from the book Choosing Civility by P.M. Forney. There's 25 rules in this book of being civil. Of the 25 rules, what I want you to do is choose the 5 that you think we can't live without, the most important ones. All 25 are important and are good, but what are the 5 we can't live without? You'll write each of those 5 on a sticky note, putting the number in a short description, for example, number 7, listen, and you'll put those up on the wall, and then the facilitator will collect for me the number of times each rule is chosen, and then we'll pull all of those together at our larger meeting. Your numbers will be combined with the numbers we collect with other workshops. From there, by your count, we'll end up with the top 5 rules to focus on for 2014-2015. At the main workshop, we'll use all that information to answer these questions. We'll take each of those 5 rules and break up into groups, and each group will have a rule and answer these questions for that rule. What are the daily actions that display this rule to our customers, and what are the daily actions that display this rule for our teammates? Then they'll go further into it and use those ideas to complete these statements. The first statement will need to be short enough to fit on the back of a business card and appointment card. And basically it says this: we choose to be a grace-centered organization as a result of that commitment, and then your team will follow through to answer what that commitment looks like. The next statement will be one you put up on the wall for your customers. It says, we choose to be a grace-centered organization. We've committed to be graceful in our interactions with our customers and with each other. With you, our customers, we will consistently, and this will be a list of daily actions of being a graceful organization, what your customers can count on you to do. The next statement regards how you'll choose to treat one another. This will go in your break room, in your policy book, on your computer perhaps. It just says this: with our teammates, we will consistently, and then what are the daily actions you're going to work with your teammates. The final statement will go in your job description so that when somebody applies for a job, they understand what A&A is all about. It basically is this: we choose to be a grace-centered organization. That means that from our employees, we count on them too. And then from there, that way we automatically start winnowing out the people who don't want to be graceful, and we draw those who do. On the last page of your handout that you've got, you'll see the results from an orthodontics practice I got to work with here in Lubbock, Texas, where I live. They've done a great job of delineating and then applying on a daily basis some of these ideas. I hope it all makes sense. The goal is to take your perspectives and create a place you love to work, period. That's what we're shooting for. I really look forward to working with you. Thanks so much.